Welcome back to another video, and today I have something special for you guys. I've got the IceBow guide, full version right here. It's going to be like about an hour long. Basically, I have all the matchups in the game that are currently in the meta, how to beat him. I kind of talk about how to play against them all. I'll pop up the matchups on the screen right here so you guys can see what all I'm going to be facing. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, we're in the first match here. Probably going to be the first match of very many. It's going to be a super long video today, but just going to go for the Knights. We are up against Riley. I also am pretty high up on ladder. Looks like he is going to be playing a Royal Hog cycle with the Orchard Queen, I'm guessing. It's a very popular deck at the moment. Actually, there's quite a few people in the top 100 using it, and quite a few people just throughout the top, ranked and ladder in general, and in tournaments as well. I know I've faced this quite a few times, like grand challenges, so I know it's going to be a very popular deck in the game right now because it has very few matchups. I made a video on this deck actually a couple days ago, but yeah, basically, okay. Let me dissect for how this is going to work, guys. So since this is the first game, I'm going to be pretty much dissecting everything that I'm doing and kind of making sense of why I'm doing it, if that makes sense. I probably worded that so badly, but I'm just going to be explaining things, basically, why I'm doing that, trying to get you guys inside my brain, if that makes sense, in a lot of these situations. I'm gonna just go for the rocket on top of this. I think we're good. It's gonna clean up all of that. Yeah, we're chilling. So yeah, basically in this matchup, what I'm looking to do is get the King Tower activation at some point in this game. There is going to be a point where he's going to outcycle my Tesla and my rocket very easily, and then I basically have to have a tornado to get to King Tower activation. Or I could just lose the game. So it's one of those matchups you can definitely lose if you get outcycled in single elixir, but the goal is to just keep it close until a little bit later in the game. You don't really want to ever offensive expo. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what if they earthquake your tower? Then can you offensive expo other lane? And you can, but it doesn't really do anything. You'll probably see that if I ever do go for an offensive expo in this matchup. But what I'm trying to do is just keep these Teslas up high, keep control of the river, get my King Tower activated. That's like the #1 thing I need to do in this matchup. Protect my Tesla like I did right there. Perfect. He doesn't have Queen ability. Look at this, pigs. Okay, this is going to be my chance to get the King Tower activated. It is going to put me on 0 elixir here, though, so I'm going to grab that King Tower. Could have maybe played a little bit better of a tornado to keep some of those pigs off my tower on the left-hand side, or at least taking less damage, but it's all good. We do get the King Tower activated. I know this seems a little bit sketchy since I am down, what is that, 700 damage? I'm not sure exactly, but he basically wasted the cannon right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and rocket his tower. There's not a point. I'm telling you guys, do not offensive expo in this matchup. There's no point. Unless you really have to get, like, there's no way you can rocket cycle to catch up. So I'm just going to go knight like this. We're going to block as good as I can for my Evo Tesla. Keep that as alive as long as possible. As you can see right there, he played an entire pig's push, and my Tesla's still alive, right? Because I protected it with the log and just bought myself enough time. He's going to go pigs probably again the bridge. Okay, I can't defend this with the rocket. I will lose the game, so I have to go ice like this. I have to get back to my knight and then log this quickly. I am going to take a few hits. Definitely got caught in a bad cycle right there, but I think we're still in a good situation where I can rocket cycle. You can catch up from around like 600 to 700 damage down, since I still have plenty of time in this game. As long as I play a lot better defenses, that needs to be the last damage I take from pigs the entire game right here. So I'm just going to set up a Tesla just in case he does go for the cannon. You always want to be blocking with your skellies. There's no downside to it. You use 1 elixir, oh well. I'm just going to go for the ice like this on top of the pigs, and I think we're in a good situation where I can come back. I can actually potentially rocket plus tornado this queen. Basically, you're just looking to get a rocket off anytime you can. I'm just going to pull that back, get the king killed, or not the king, the tower hit by the rocket as well. I can just go for the Tesla down low since he did use his earthquake early. Log to clean up the pigs, and yeah, and a lot of a lot of pressure coming at me, but I do defend that pretty well. He might just cycle back to another set of pigs, and yeah, we made it from like down 700-800 damage to all the way caught up here on damage, and we're in a decent situation as well. So I'm just gonna go knight like this. Do I need to log that? I don't think I do. Knight plus ice plus that 1 skeleton and the tower are all going to do a good enough job, and just like that, we are caught up on damage, and I have my Evo Tesla. So if he does go for a very aggressive push, Evo Skellies predict maybe? No, he doesn't have Evo Skellies, does he? That's fine, because look at that. He's forced to play a defensive cannon, and whenever they play a defensive card, you are in such a good situation. So from down, what was I down? Like 800 damage to caught all the way back up right here. You can still come back with just rockets, so just don't force an expo in this matchup is my main advice. Anyways, we're up here a good amount of damage. I'm still going to go here, log plus tornado to cycle. Do I need to ice that? I think I do, just to make sure that doesn't do too much damage on my tower. The pigs are going to get 1 hit, I think. No, they don't even get 1 hit. Perfect. I can just go rocket like this, and then we're good here. I can just Tesla up high. Once again, he can't earthquake the Tesla. Just make sure I place it in the correct placement every single time. There's no reason to put a Tesla anywhere else besides that placement the entire game. So I'm just going to make sure and be safe here. Go for the NATO plus Tesla up high. We know he can't take my tower in a short amount of time, and I can just rocket to finish off the game. And yeah, perfect game to start off this video. No mistakes were made. We did take a little bit of damage early on, and you guys can see right there, don't offensive expo. You just got to rocket cycle, and make sure you have those high Teslas up, and you should be chilling. Got our next match here, and I actually know already what this guy's playing. He's playing Rocket Cycle with the Mortar, so it's basically just a Mortar quick cycle deck, and he's got Rocket and I believe Mega Minion, Knight. I can't remember if he has, I think he has Ice Wiz too, so it's like a Ice Mortar kind of deck. I don't know, it's kind of a weird deck for sure, but just gonna go Ice Wiz like this. Basically in this matchup, I'll show you guys. I need to be pressuring with Expo pretty much every single time I can. That's actually going to be a good defense. I think the Ice Wiz is going to kill the Mortar, and then I can log perfectly. Oh, this is perfect defense right here. I'm pretty sure I take no hits, if I'm not mistaken. Right, okay, decent. So, anyways, what you want to be doing is pressuring with your expos as many times as you can. And that doesn't mean just slap the expo down whenever you have it. Basically, I need to make sure I'm safe on defense first. Defense comes first, but you cannot win with Rocket Cycle in this matchup. You have to get the expo, like, at least pressuring his tower. Like, right here, honestly, I could just go Knight over here on this left-hand side, tank for that Mortar, pull that Mega Minion on over, and then I'm just going to go for the Ice Wiz on top of this Knight. You really need to mitigate as much damage as you possibly can in single elixir, especially because once you do get out of single, you have such a better chance of winning the game. Okay, so this is decent. Ice Wiz is going to kill that Mortar, which is really good for me. And then, like I said right here, I'm just going to slap an expo down. The reason I'm going to do this is because he's going to have to spend at least minimum 6-7 elixir to take that out, and I know he's going to have to either rocket, yep, perfect, or he has to go like Knight, Ice Wiz, Mega Minion, and try and, you know, not get cooked by like an Evo Tesla blocking or anything like that. So perfect start right here. We're up almost 1,000 damage since he also does have that Cannoneer tower. But it's definitely still not over. You have to be very careful of their Evo Mortar. And also, you know, when they have Evo Mortar, they can make NATO plays to pull everything together, pull stuff to your tower, get free damage. So you always have to be kind of ready. Terrible Knight by him right there. I'm not sure why he played that so late, but I'm just going to go Ice Wiz like this up high. He's probably going to Mega Minion my Knight if I had to guess. Yep, perfect. I can just go... I'm honestly going to offensive expo again. Like I said, I just want to keep the pressure on because if I expo, he can't go Mortar, right? I could have hit a better log right there, but we still get a tiny bit of damage from my expo, which is perfect. Wait for that to lock, and then he's going to most likely NATO this, so I'm just going to wait. Yep, patience is key, because I know I can Evo Tesla at any point here. That Evo Mortar, yep, there's the NATO. See, look how I waited right there and didn't force it. Evo Tesla right away, and if I put that Evo Tesla down into the Knights, he would have easily defended that and taken no, I would have probably taken some damage from an Evo Mortar, maybe like 1 or 2 shots, and that would easily lose me the game. So I just have to always make sure that I keep this lead that I already have got. I'm just going to go Ice Wiz like this in the right-hand side. He could Mortar opposite lane. I might just, I kind of want to predict it. No, I'm just going to set up a Mortar, or a Tesla, I mean. Mortar and Tesla, I'm getting those two confused on this left-hand side. Pull this back so my Tesla retargets onto the Mortar. Perfect. That's beautiful, actually, because now I don't have to worry about the Mortar hitting my tower, really. He could NATO that for 1 shot, actually. No, he's not going to do it, I don't think. So we're just going to go Evo Knight up high, tank for that Mega Minion, and then we're chilling. Once again, we still have that 1,000 damage lead. I'm going to expo to pressure. Perfect timing because now he's going to have to rocket or cycle all the way back around to another Knight, which is very difficult to do. He doesn't have like 1,000 cycle cards like sometimes the Mortar rocket decks do. Okay, I'm just going to let that kind of happen. He might Mortar the bridge. I would not be surprised. I'm just going to cycle my log. We're going to be patient here. We got to make sure we get 2 things down in case he NATOs the Ice Wiz. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Super smart idea to get those skellies down right there because I knew he was going to try and cheeky NATO that Ice Wiz out of the range, so the Mortar would lock my tower. But perfect. I can just go expo again right here. He has to rocket this probably. Every time we force out a rocket, it's a win for us. Look at that. We still get 3 or 4 expo ticks because he didn't defend that cleanly. And we also forced out his only way of getting damage is if I don't make any mistakes. So just going to go Ice Wiz the back once again. Just keep playing it slow. No need to be stupid or aggressive. I'm just going to go Tesla the river to set that up. You know, it's even though I don't predict him here, but it doesn't matter because I can just basically hold on to the river. Like basically I'm just going to be holding on to the river as long as I can. He's probably going to rocket my tower now, which is fine. I'm just going to rocket. Oh, I thought he went for my tower. I'm going to be honest. I might have just sold here. I got to be very careful. Skelly's up high. I can go Knight like this. yeah, I'm glad I'm okay here because I almost just tossed with that terrible rocket. For some reason I thought that he was gonna rocket my tower. I figured he would at least trying to catch up on damage, but I'm just gonna go skellies like this. Make sure the Evo Mortar does not cheese me here. Get the knight down, and you see 30 seconds left. I can just always make sure I have something set up so the mortar can't hit my tower, and I really feel confident like there's nothing he can do. So look at that perfect defense. Even though we were down 7-8 elixir, there was really nothing he could have done to break through unless he like went for a prediction NATO and hit it that time. But luckily we got into his head earlier by placing our skellies down quick that I wasn't going to let him get any prediction cheese NATOs off. And yeah, another flawless game. Honestly, this was pretty dang perfect. As I said, you just want to pressure with your expo every single time that you get the opportunity. Even if you don't get damage much from the expo, you can at least force out their rocket. That's the goal of doing it in the first place, and because they're always going to have to spend either something else with that or take a couple hundred damage each time. And you want to make sure you never let a mortar connect. That's the other thing that's very important. Our next match here against this guy from the Lai clan, or the Lee clan. I'm not sure how to say it, but just gonna cycle our skellies. He's got the Skeleton King, so makes me think probably Evo Mortar. With the, you know, that deck in general. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna let that expo kind of do its thing. I don't really want to play anything aggressively right here. I'd rather just wait for him. He's got the arrows, so yeah. Wait, does he have mortar? I can't really tell. Could still be something else. I'm just going to cycle my log like this and wait for him to make a play here. If he does go for the mortar, he's got the rage. Okay, so it might be EGolem actually, which is a deck I have not been facing too much of this meta, but I know people do have struggles against it, so it'd be super important. Oh my gosh, he's got an MK. Never mind. I thought I knew what he was playing, but okay, so MK Skeleton King Rage Arrows. I don't have any idea, to be honest, what he's running. So Night Witch as well. Is it still EGolem? It could still be EGolem. Wait, this is a very odd deck from him. I'm just gonna cycle my log, get my Knight down up high to pull everything over. That should pull to my Tesla. Perfect. Look at that defense, guys. That is just, oh, that's beautiful. I do have to Ice Whiz this on the right, don't I? I think I do. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna force an expo. I know it's aggressive, but I think this is the play here in this situation. If he's just playing like an MK, okay, so it is MK EGolem. Right. So how I want to play against this deck right here. Dang it, I should have got that Ice Whiz down quicker. It's all good, though. How I want to play against this deck right here is I want to be super, super aggressive only when I'm up like 4 or 5 elixir from a bad push by him. For example, right there, he just kind of, I don't even know what happened. He was just spamming the river with like Skelly King, Night Witch, and Mega Knight, and pretty much that just gave me an easy defense, and I got a good counter push off of that. I'm going to go for the NATO like this to pull everything. Okay, I was trying to predict like maybe Skelly's behind or something, just in case he went for that on top of my Ice Whiz after it locked on, but that still works. Didn't really, you know, that was kind of a low risk NATO right there. If it hit, then that was cool, but if it didn't, then you know what, it doesn't matter too much. So I'm actually going to go Expo right here. The reason I'm doing this is because I already have my Ice Whiz set up. He's going to drop the Evo Mega Knight. Okay, interesting. I can't say I faced too much of this matchup exactly, but pretty bad Night Witch by him right there. Just kind of wasted it. Ice Whiz does die, unfortunately, but I can just go here, and then that's going to... the Mega Knight is going to punch the Knight back. I still laugh at that interaction every time, like just how the way it punches is goofy. But anyways, we're looking good. I just want to play this super defensively, you know, no need to be stupid. I have complete control of this match, and that is why I love playing this deck right here, right? There's nothing he could do if I play perfectly. Unless I literally just, like, my internet disconnects or something, because look at this. We have the Evo Tesla always set up. We always can get back to another Ice Wizard whenever I need it, and I can just go Skellies like this to pull that MK jump in and just buy as much time as I can for my Teslas to put in work against the MK. Even the Evolution MK is not threatening at all. I'm going to Expo again because he Night Witched the back. Doesn't have his MK in cycle, so he has to go Skeleton King. I can actually force a Knight. He's probably going to drop the MK in the back again or on top of the Knight, either one. That's fine, though. I'm not worried about that because look what we did. We didn't allow him to get a push off in the right-hand lane, and now I can probably activate my King Tower potentially. We'll have to see what he does. No, I'm just going to Tesla like this. Maybe I should have just let that jump and then Tornado to King Tower, but either way, it's still going to be a decent defense. Probably could have got the activation there, but it's all good. We can probably get it at some point in this game. So now I think we just set up a defensive expo. Double elixir, we're already in overtime, like well into it, so I can just cycle my Knight in the back. There's the split lane pressure that we're about to see. Since he does Night Witch on the right, I will get my Ice Wiz down over here. He doesn't have a Void, I don't think, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to keep my Ice Wizards alive. I can just cycle an Evo Tesla here, go for the log early, get the Knight down. He does have Void, I'm tripping. So yeah, I just want to play patient. There's nothing he can do. Even though this looks like a little bit sketchy, there's really no threats at the moment. I can just NATO like this. Do I need to log? I don't even think I do. So yeah, perfect defense again. He just has no way to break through. I'm not sure why this deck is even a thing, to be honest, but this should be one of those matchups where you're pretty much dominating the entire game. Don't go too aggressive with offensive expos. You saw I did place a few just to kind of get in a flow, but I'm just going to go Skellies to block that. And every single time I go offensive expo, I think people, you know, do it too often with this deck, definitely, but every single time that I do offensive expo, there's a reason behind it, especially in matchups like this. But I'm just gonna go Skellies, NATO everything up high, get back to my Evo Tesla in a second, and we should be vibing here. Even if he, you know, gets a little bit of damage, it's not the end of the world. I can just cycle back around to another Tesla here. We're gonna get a ton of elixir from the blobs in a second, so I can get back around pretty quickly. I'm just gonna Tesla up high for the EGolem, perfect defense right there. Ice was over here, and then we're just already back to another log for the EGolem blobs if I do need it. We'll just go for the double rocket because why not? Go for the knight like this, and Ice Wiz gets so much value, guys. This is how you play this matchup. You keep that Ice Wiz alive, keep that Tesla alive, and you're just gonna easily defend all of his units. The Skeleton King ability, don't have to worry about that at all. We can just rocket his tower one more time, get as much damage as I physically can with that NATO as well. And yeah, perfect matchup. Definitely an odd deck, but I know it's definitely one of those more mid-ladder decks that I know is going to be helpful just to watch and see how I play against it. Notice the Evo MK, I never panicked against it. I just kind of sat there, let it do its thing, got a few jumps on me, but never really did damage to my tower. Okay, we got our next match here against Mr. Awesome, which I believe this is actually a Pekka player. Or Mega Knight. It's either Mega Knight or Pekka. I can't remember exactly which one, but I'm pretty sure he plays Ram Rider as well, so it's good to get a matchup like this in, hopefully. Okay, so he's got a Pekka at the back first play. Probably could have seen that one coming, but I'm just going to go defensive expo like this. If he does Void, maybe I can get a good Skeletons to block the second and third strike, but we'll have to see right here. So a lot of Pekka in the meta. I know I'm going to show at least a couple different versions of Pekka in this video because I know it's a #1 deck in the game easily right now. So I'm just going to go for the... I can't really block that, can I? I got to go Skellies up high, then Tesla down low. That was a bad Tesla placement, Hunter. Okay, we're good. I can just log that, then NATO this up high to the Tesla. I think we're fine. Kind of an awkward defense, to be honest, but we are in a decent situation to where, like, I took some damage because I messed up, but it's not the end of the world. So basically, against Pekka Ram Rider, we know he's got the Void version and not the Lightning or the Fireball or Poison versions, whatever the heck. That's not really even used very much anymore, but what I want to be doing is just kind of playing defensively, waiting for him to give me an opportunity to go, like, expo other lane. If he pecks the back, I'm definitely going to do it. Perfect. That's exactly what I was talking about. If he does go for a Void, I can block it with my Skellies for the second and third. Oh my gosh, I messed it up. Holy cow. If I would have played that better, I would have gotten a lot more damage right here, but still, this is going to be a very interesting defense. I might be in trouble here because I did kind of sell that Skellies. We're all good, though. I can just go Tesla like this, I think. There's the Ram Rider. I'm going to Tesla down low, and then I can log last second to clip those guards. I have to go for the Knight like this to pull everything in, and then that's going to kill my Knight, unfortunately, but the Tesla's putting in a decent bit of work. I can NATO everything up high. Wow. Holy cow, we're alive somehow. To be honest, that defense was a little bit nuts. I was kind of nervous right there, but I think we're in a good situation that Pekka is going to die right before he gets to my tower. And yeah, like I said right there, you just gotta wait for them to make a mistake because they almost always will. He's probably gonna Pekka the back again. I wouldn't even be surprised. I'm just gonna Ice Wiz in the back right here. If he does Pekka, yep, there it is. We're just gonna go offensive bow again right here. If he voids, it's fine. We have our Skellies in cycle. He's gonna, oh my gosh, what? Okay, he's got Mega Knight. I did not expect to see that, to be honest. I'm just gonna get my Knight down for that. He has a Mother Witch too. Wow, that's two cards that are very, very, very frustrating to deal with when they're combined. But I'm just gonna go Ice Wiz like this. That Knight is not going to get much value at all, since the Mother Witch is just like slowing everything down. I can go Skellies behind this Pekka, just give it a second to kind of work. Go for the Knight like this, and then I should be able to activate my King, I think, if that Ice Wiz doesn't block it. Of course it does. Gosh dang it, Ice Wiz is selling me, guys. But yeah, just going to play this defensive from here on out since I did get that one Expo lock. It's kind of all I need. He's probably going to drop an Evo MK. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh my gosh, this is going to be tough with no no King Tower. I'm going to be completely real. This is very, very scary. So I'm just going to be patient. Right, I have to rocket that, and then I can just go for the Tornado. Ram Rider does connect to my tower, but you know what? Honestly, that's not that bad. I can Ice Wiz on top. Not bad, guys. Not bad. That could have been a lot worse. We get the King Tower, and we only take a couple hundred damage. Kind of a defensive miracle right there, if I do say so myself. That rocket on the Ram Rider in the Pekka definitely saved me, but okay, Tesla just to clean up the pigs. We're kind of vibing right here. I could maybe rocket his tower, but I think it's way too risky. There's no reason for me to do anything stupid at this point in the game. I can just, like I said, lock up on defense. No need to go for another offensive expo. He's going to go for a split lane push again, which is fine. He does have the Mother Witch, though, which is going to cause me many issues if I play my Skelly stupidly. So I'm just going to go Ice Wiz down low like this. There's the Ram Rider. I can just Evo Tesla up high, and then I can just go for the log like this to push everything back. Knight over here, and I think we're in a good situation. Ice Wiz is going to slow everything down. Perfect. Just this defense is perfect, guys. So one more minute. I need to make sure I can defend this last push that he's going to slap on the map. That rhymed. But he's got Pekka. He's got Evo MK. This is going to be rough. He probably will MK the bridge. If there it is, I can get my Tesla down like this, log, and then go skellies in the middle. I have to NATO this off. Okay, wow. We're back to Tesla, so I'm not really worried about that Ram Rider. I can just log down low for the Ram and the Bomber. Perfect timing like that. Ice was like this. Oh my gosh, this defense is perfect. Okay, I'm going to go for the Skellies on this Mother Witch just to make sure it doesn't, like, take out my entire Ice Whiz. Okay, that Mother Witch does need to die, like, right now. Holy cow, Mother Witch, chill. Okay, we're good. I think we're in a good situation, even though that Mother Witch was trying its best to just somehow take over the entire game. We'll log just to make sure the Ram Rider doesn't do too much, and that's going to be GG's. 20 seconds left. Even if he goes for, like, a Ram Rider or something, I can just rock it and cycle all the way back around to another one right here. Go for the Knight. The Mother Witch is super annoying for sure, but he doesn't have enough time to break through. Skellies like this, I can just go for the log and then rocket his tower one more time, and that should be GG's. Even though this Ram Rider is going to connect, we got enough damage with our rocket right there. I didn't even need to go for that rocket. I probably should have just played defense, but either way, that was a pretty perfect game. We waited for him to make one stupid play, where he packed it in the back and single elixir, and then we just kind of punished it. And also, remember, I did mess up right there, right? I could have won that game a lot easier, made it look a little close for content. Got our next match here, and I'm 99% sure this guy's playing Pekka with the Goblin Giant deck. I think I faced him a couple days ago when I was playing ladder with it, but I'm just going to cycle my Knight in the back right here, see what he wants to do. Oh my gosh, wow. All right, so Pekka it is. I think he has the Goblin Giant version as well. Hopefully that Ice Wizard does hit the... Yeah, it does hit the Bomber, thankfully. Dude, I'm so happy they buffed Ice Wizard splash damage, guys. You have no idea how much, like... Oh, the game is so much easier for me when it actually does something, if that makes sense, and it should be for you guys as well. But yeah, this guy definitely has the Goblin Giant version, so in this matchup, you literally have to play Turtle Bow, and I'm not trolling when I say this. You quite literally probably can never offensive expo, and I know that's going to sound pretty, like, lame and boring, but, you know, if I get a chance, I will do it, of course. There's just never going to be a time where I'm like, okay, I can offensive expo, and this is going to benefit me more than it's going to hurt me, if that makes sense. The reason that is because unless I'm up like 5 or 6 elixir, he's always going to have either Pekka or Goblin Giant in cycle, and if he doesn't have one of those, I believe he has Void as well. So, you know, one of those three to always counter my Expo is not going to be a great combination. And the reason I really want to play defensive in this matchup is because you can easily lose on one push. And they also don't have a big spell, right? They don't have that Lightning or Fireball. So if I just play good enough defense, this entire game, then I should win the game, right? Theoretically, right? That's how my mind thinks in this matchup. There's no need to be aggressive. I'm actually going to wait a second, let that Fisherman locked, and go Knight like this. Ice was down low. This defense is going to be perfect, I think. Okay, wait, my timing might be on fire right now. I might go for an offensive expo, honestly. Should I? No, I'm not going to do it. It's very tempting, right? Like, I have enough elixir, I could slap it down, but it's just not the play. I'm telling you guys, this is not the game to play offensive expos in, this deck, against this deck specifically, and this deck is actually very popular in the meta right now. Believe it or not, Pekka plus Goblin Giant is actually a meta deck. But, yeah, I remember, wow, English Hunter, please. I remember when people were freaking out that Expo was going to be cooked because of the Void getting released in the game, and honestly now I think I'd rather face Void than almost every single spell in the game, in terms of big spells like Fireball, Poison, Lightning, Rocket. I mean, all four of those I'd rather face Void every day of the week, but that's fine. He's just going to go for the Pack of the Back. We'll just cycle our Larrys like this, force out some elixir from him, go for the Tesla. I don't even think he has Void actually, since he has the Tesla, or the Rage, the Zap, and the Arrows. Very interesting spell combination, but like I said, it's gonna be a turtle bow game. That's just what I'm gonna call it when you want to play defensive expos all game, because that's just what you gotta do. Sometimes you have to do what you need to do to get the win. If I can get the King Tower activated at some point, that could be nice. All right, this is gonna be a very interesting defense here. I can just log, and then I can just go for my Knight behind. I think we're okay. I might have to NATO this Pekka up high. Yeah, I'm gonna have to NATO that, and then Ice Fist is gonna splash all three of those. Perfect timing on that. Wow, what a perfect defense. Okay, so yeah, we're looking good. I'm actually going to offensive expo here. I know I said I'm not going to do it, but look how much elixir I already have. And he only has, the only thing he could do right there was either Pekka or Goblin Giant. He can't do both, and he can't really punish me for this play. So I'm going to go log on 0 as well. Decent. He's going to have to play a Zap. Yeah, once again, like, there's just no point in offensive expoing. I shouldn't have even done it right there, to be completely real, because look at that, I get no damage. But it's all good. It doesn't matter that much. I just wanted to show you guys. I'm glad I did offensive expo, because that was like, I had expo and Evo Tesla, right? And I still got 0 damage. So that just shows you in this matchup, there's really almost no point to do it. So gonna go with defensive Ice Wiz like this. The only time I might do it is if they play a Pekka in the back, and we're on the same amount of elixir. So I'm just gonna Tesla like this. Gonna be an awkward defense for sure. Fisherman always makes things very frustrating for me. It's just probably one of the best cards against IceBow in general, just because it always grabs your support units. I'm going to go defensive bow like this. IceBow, my cycle is a little bit shocked here. I don't have Tesla for the Goblin Giant, so I have to NATO this up high. Yeah, it's getting a little bit sketchy, but I think we're still in a good situation to where I don't have to panic. So I'm just going to go Tesla like this, and then once again go for another defensive expo. This time I'm going to place it immediately, and then I might have to rocket on this left-hand side. We'll see what he does do. I think I just want to rocket this left-hand side, then go ahead and focus on defending this Goblin Giant on the right. Kind of an interesting play. This definitely would be a lot easier if I did have the what's it called, up the king tower activated, but I do not. Unfortunately, he's going to pack at the bridge, which is never going to work against me. I'm just going to be honest. Even if I'm down 8-9 elixir, you can usually defend a pack at the bridge with very cheap amounts of units, so I think it's pretty much just a waste if he does that. It's going to be GG's though. 25 seconds left. I can just go ahead and rocket cycle. He's going to spell cycle for some reason, because I guess he's just trying to break through and he can't do anything into an Evo Tesla. I'm guessing is his thought process, but yeah, only 15 seconds left. That Evo Tesla's going to pop. I can just log that bomber down low, go ahead and drop my NATO to pull everything back, and we can rocket the tower just to be 100% safe and make sure we win the game. So he's going to play all his spells. Not going to be nearly enough. We're up about an entire rocket right there, and that's going to be another easy win. Like I said, didn't play a single offensive expo except for that one to prove a point, and we just win the game by just playing super defensively, not making any mistakes, and just not letting the Goblin Giant plus Evo Pekka combination just absolutely ruin me. We also controlled the Fisherman pretty well in that matchup. Okay, we got a match against Furcon here, and I believe he is playing Pekka with the Ram Rider. The last time I faced him, he was at least, so we're going to get this version of Pekka as well. I know it's a ton of Pekka in this guide, but I think it's going to be very important for a lot of you to know how to beat it. I know it's a new card, and the Evolution Pekka is still very new in the game, and people are still struggling with it, including me. Like, I'm not perfect against it yet, but I would say I've gotten pretty decent at defending it. I'm just going to go for the Tesla up high in the middle. In this matchup, what I'm looking to do is just once again play defensive, wait for him to make that error. Even if he doesn't make a massive mistake, I can usually get expo connections. This is a lot different than the Goblin Giant Pekka deck, because I actually have opportunity to play offensively, if that makes sense. In some situations, like right here, I'm not going to just let them Pekka at the back, right? Like they only have 3 elixir. What could they possibly do? And in his case, if he had Evo Wizard and Cycle, I would not play the expo like this at the bridge, but he doesn't, so I can just go ahead and easily block that void with my skellies. Not sure why he really played that void that late, if it was already gonna, the expo's already getting so much damage. So I'm just gonna go ISOs down low like this. We can go ahead and grab the King Tower activation with the Ghost in a second here. I'm gonna go Log plus Knight on top of this Wizard. Perfect timing. I can just go Knight behind now, and we can Skellies to block for the Pekka. Okay, he's probably gonna Rage that or Zap. Okay, he does have the Rage, and he's gonna get 1 Pekka hit from that, but look at that defense, guys. We get such a perfect defense, get King Tower activation, and because he did pack at the back first play, or not first play, but in single elixir, once again, we are gonna punish them for that stupidity. But you have to know what you're doing with the expo. You can't just be like, oh, he has 3 elixir. You have to know he's going to void most likely, or he's going to go wizard at the bridge on 0. So I had both options covered right there. Just going to go for the Tesla and the sensor once again, and he can still easily break through. All it takes is 1 push. I'm actually going to go for the expo like this. I know this is a weird play. You're probably like, why are you expoing on offense, Hunter, when he has an Evo Pekka coming at you? So this expo right here is actually going to do me a lot of good. It's going to defend the Pekka, basically. Okay, pretty early guards by him. I think he was trying to wait for that to lock on, but this expo is going to work as a defensive expo for me, is why I put it there. I can just go Ice like this. He did kind of overcommit to kill my expo. I can just Skellies like this on top of the Pekka. Okay, I'm starting to cook, guys. I'm not gonna lie, like, my gameplay today is feeling very, very clean as well, so this is a perfect day to make a matchup guide. I'm just gonna go defensive expo. Only 37 seconds left. He's probably going to get 1 more decently big push off. I'm just gonna go Knight. I probably should have just let that go and Knight at the back, to be honest, but it's all good. 30 seconds left. Yeah, I mean, we're fine. Even if he gets a couple hits from any kind of unit right here, I can just chill, go for the log, go for the rocket on top of this, since we do log that wizard shield off, and that's going to be GG's. Another perfect, flawless game. 1 mistake by him, and bang, we punish it immediately. But once again, I could have just played defense this entire game and won similarly to how I won the last game against the Goblin Giants plus Pekka deck. But yeah, pretty flawless win right there. Okay, we got a match against Lava Hounds, and one of the better Lava Hound players in the game, so this is going to be a good one to put in the guide. I have already beaten a couple Lava Hounds, but I'm guessing I already didn't put them in the video because they were, like, not really great games, if that makes sense. The Lava player just kind of made 1 mistake, and then I just kind of capitalized on it, but just going to go Ice Fizz like this. He might Lava the bridge in front of that, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, my cycle's, like, fine here, but he's just going to avoid that. Then I'm gonna have to hit a nice rocket here. I don't have skellies to block everything, so I can just rocket. Perfect timing on that rocket. Not a terrible start, but not a great start, if that makes sense. I'm in a pretty bad cycle. You kind of always want to be able to either save your IceBow or your Tesla on the defenses, but yeah, I couldn't save either one right there, which is all good. I mean, it is still single elixir. Single elixir is definitely the hardest part of this matchup for sure. I could get out cycled. I might just go for the I'll cycle my log just to get around, because we want to get back to our IceBow as quick as possible in case he does go for like a balloon or something of that manner. But just gonna knight the back right here. He's gonna go for the Valkyrie. This is risky, but I am gonna go IceBow like this. And if he does go for like skelly drags, I'll probably Tesla as well. I know it's going to be aggressive, but I do want to make sure I win the bridge fight. Yeah, I don't know. This is a bad Tesla probably, because he's going to go lava opposite lane if he's smart. Right, yeah, he's going to lava opposite. That was kind of a dumb play by me, to be honest. I'm just going to have to try and rocket and then defend the lava hounds with no air defense in cycle now. Yeah, kind of a mistake on my end. But what I'm looking to do in this matchup, you guys have seen me play lava hound before, probably a couple times, but what I'm looking to do is probably go opposite lane now, because I'm going to be down quite a bit of damage. But we just need to survive single elixir, then I can kind of control the tempo of the game, if that makes sense, later on here. So I'm just going to go IceBow like this after I NATO. Okay, that's fine. I can Evo Tesla up high. Kind of a, I don't know. I mean, I had to Evo Tesla either way, I think, for the balloon, so I'm not mad about that, but definitely a rough start, not what we were looking for in single elixir right there. At least I didn't lose, like, or take a balloon hit or lose the majority of my tower. Now I want to be the one that's being aggressive. I can't just sit back and defend the whole game, guys, because you will eventually get chipped out. I'm going to go offensive expo like this, because I know he has to either go guards or void or both. Okay, perfect. He does void my expo, which is cool. I can just go IceBow up high, and then I can log and then knight on top of the Valkyrie. My cycle is a little bit awkward again. It's kind of been off the entire game, if that makes sense, but he's forced to guard that. I can just go ahead and I'm gonna NATO this to keep the IceBow alive. He does lava the back, but I think that's fine, because I can just go offensive expo like this to pressure him. He's probably gonna Valk on that. That's fine if he does. He has to Valk on 0 if he does go for the Valk, so I know he can't really afford too much offensive pressure at the moment, especially after those skelly drags. So I'm just gonna go IceBow down low like this. Skelly's up high to block for that Mega Minion. Okay, he's gonna Evo Zap. Wow, that's super annoying actually. The fact that that kills the entire IceBow I think is a problem, but it's all good. I can just cycle back to another Tesla like this. We are in a really bad situation now, just because that stupid Evo Zap, man, that Evo Zap cooked me. But I can just go IceBow down low and then tornado everything up high, and that should be a good defense. The fact that I'm even alive right now is kind of nasty, but Knight's gonna block for all that, and yeah, we are alive. Wow, what a stressful defense. I haven't been able to get into a good rotation all game, but luckily I am still somehow in this game. I'm just going to go for the skellies in the back. We need to get an Evo Tesla down to control the river right here. He's going to lava opposite lane. That's fine. We can IceBow like this. And I think we can win this if I just pressure really well right here and don't take a ton of damage on this defense. So he's going to have to go guards or void. Okay, there's the void. I can block the void with my skellies. He has to zap that or he's going to take a ton of damage still. Perfect, guys. Perfect cycle right there. I knew he didn't have Valken cycle. I knew he was either going to have to void or guards, and as soon as he didn't place the guards in time, I was like, okay, I know what he's going to do, and we kind of just cooked him in that situation. I want to keep the pressure on. I know this is like crazy aggressive at the river, but trust me, this is how you have to play this later on in the game, because you're going to have to make these trades and try and pressure to not allow them to get an actual push off on top of you, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go Knight and Skellies. Kind of awkward. I'm going to log to get a few chip damage shots with my Expo. Not bad. Look how much damage that actually got. That was kind of clutch. But once again, he's going to cycle back to an Evo Zap, but I can already cycle back around to another Ice Wizard. He's going to go for a second Lava Hound in this left-hand side. I'm almost positive of that. So we're just going to cycle my log, and then I'm going to go for the Ice Wiz on the left. Here comes the Lava Hound on the left-hand side. Perfect. And we can just go Evo Tesla, Knight to block the Skelly Drags. We need to cycle back around to another Ice Wiz plus Tesla to defend this push. Go for the Tesla up high. There's two Lava Hounds and like a million support troops on the map, but we are chilling because look at this. We've got double Teslas. We've got our Evo Tesla. I can NATO everything up high. We got the double Ice Wiz, and this defense is absolutely perfect, guys. Wow. Holy moly, what a comeback win. Definitely got a terrible start once again against this guy. It is always like kind of like that in single elixir. In early double elixir, I have trouble for sure. But once I get out of that, I do end up dominating the match most of the time. And that's going to be GG's. Pretty much a perfect Lava Hound game right there. You know, things went badly at the start. But, you know, you just got to keep cool and make sure you always are pressuring, not just sitting back and defending the entire time. Because you can't rocket cycle a Lava Hound player. That's like the rule number 1 against Lava. Okay, well, I have mixed feelings about this game right here. So, we are against Wotop. He's going to be playing Royal Hogs, Flying Machine. the hardest counter in the game, basically, for IceBow. But I know that people need to watch how I play against this deck. I usually don't win. Like, it's like 95, 96% of the time I don't win, I swear. But I will try my best, and even if I lose, I'm still going to show it, as long as I, can play a decent amount, or like a decent enough to where I'm not just getting cooked instantly. But I'm going to show you guys how I play against this matchup for sure. I'm just going to cycle the IceBows in the back like this. I'm kind of happy that he played his Flying Machine early, because now I don't have to worry about that on this push. I'm not sure exactly his deck yet, because there's some like different cards that sometimes get put in, but I'm just going to scale these up high. He's got a cannon card, so what? Oh, that's really, really bad. That's even harder of a counter against me personally. Oh wow, yeah, I mean, that's game, bro. I can't do anything against the cannon card, to be honest. Hopefully that IceBow does come back and help me. Thank goodness it is going to, but I think I'm still in trouble. I have to scale these like this. Wow, he's got Cannon Cart, Flying Machine, Royal Recruits. Oof, that is rough. Anyways, not a good start. The only possible way you can ever win this is if you get the King Tower activated on the first push and you don't take much damage. And then you can just like defend for your life after that and hope that you can somehow squeeze a win out, but you never know. You never know what could happen. It's not looking good. I kind of want to defensive expo like this, but what I like to do in this matchup, it's just kind of be patient. So I want to expo like this. I can never, I mean, what's the point of offensive expoing, right, guys? He's going to easily counter that. I'm probably going to have to try and force an offensive lock at some point. It's not going to work, but I will try my best to get one. Anyways, I don't even know how to describe how I play against this matchup. I just kind of play reactively and hope that he messes up, kind of thing. But just going to cycle the Knight in the back. He's got the Evo Bomber, which is not going to be great for me. Evo Bomber, Cannon Card, and Flying Machine. That is 3 cards that are very, very difficult to deal with when you are playing IceBow. But I'm just going to log that recruits first set of recruits off the map on that left-hand side, then go for the skellies like this. He might Flying Machine. I need to be careful of that. Keep our Tesla alive as much as possible. That's really what we have to rely on. Teslas and Ice Wizards are like the only way I can defend in this matchup. So really good timing actually on everything here. That was perfect, I can't lie. I think that Flying Machine should die just barely. Nope, it's going to survive on 1 HP. We'd love to see that. It's going to hit my tower now. Oh, that's actually so depressing, because I feel like I played almost a flawless defense. So, I mean, I'm going to just try and force an offensive expo. It's not going to work, guys, but I am going to do it. He's going to go recruits to bridge. I can just Knight like this, then maybe Ice was here. Evo Tesla up high. I'm actually going to sack this to just completely take off that cannon cart off the map, and then he might go offensive pigs in a second. I need to be a little bit careful of that. Yeah, he's just going to go for the Flying Machine. I think I can grab that Flying Machine and pull it in quicker and kill it with the tower. Wow, that was bad, Hunter. Okay. You know what? That was sloppy, but I think we're still fine because he's not going to punish me for it. I can just defensive expo like this. It's not great, but it's really all I can do in this situation. He's going to go for a second set of recruits in the back. The stress is getting to me. Okay, Tesla like this. Come on, bro. Come on. I can still maybe win this. It's going to take like an actual miracle, though. Going to rocket these first set of recruits, like the first set of the recruits off, and then kill the cannon card as well. Go for a deep log here to clip all these pigs and the recruits. I do need King Tower desperately here, so we are going to get that, I think. Perfect. What a defense. I can go Evo Knight like this. That should block for the Flying Machine, and it should walk forward. Perfect defense. Block the bomber. Oh my gosh, what a defense, guys. Wow, that was beautiful. We took 0 damage. Okay, I'm starting to believe a little bit that I can maybe win this. We have King Tower now, which is what we were looking for. There's the recruits to bridge. We can log early, go for the skellies. He's going to Flying Machine probably, so I'm just going to get the Knight down like this. I'll go Ice Wiz 2 on 0. I know I'm on like basically 0 elixir this entire time, but you have to overcommit so hard to even try and keep damage off your tower. I think this is the point. I don't want to go. I mean, I want to rocket his tower, but it's just not going to work, right? Like, he's easily going to overwhelm me, so I have to just force an expo on the tower, hopefully, and somehow hope that it's going to work. So I'm just going to go log tornado like this. We are going to clip that. Wait, this is maybe a chance to do something. I can skellies up high for these recruits. Please? Nah, he does get the pigs down, unfortunately. I can just NATO this back as well and get as much damage as I physically can. That's all I'm trying to do. 37 seconds left. I can just go for the Knight like this, Tesla up high to kill the Flying Machine. This is perfect gameplay right now. I've been playing perfectly the last like minute and a half, so I'm just gonna go Ice Wiz. I think I am dead here, though. I don't have Evo Tesla next. Yeah, it's over. There's no way I can defend this because pigs. Yeah, no, I tried, guys. I did try my best here. I'm gonna go log down low. We're still defending well, but yeah, cannon cart is going to be the death of me right here. I'm just gonna NATO this up high. That E-Spirit's actually pushing it to the tower. I lost. Yeah, it's gonna connect. Oh well. I played that really well defensively, especially for the fact that he had a cannon cart that entire time. We almost were able to pull off a clutch at the very end. Imagine I could have defended that last push and then rocketed his tower and maybe won by like 1 HP or something. But anyways, that's still a matchup. I'm going to put it in the video because I know it's the hardest one in the game, right? I know you guys want to see how to play against it, and hopefully that can help even a little bit. Okay, we got a match here against Saudi. He plays Mortar with the cannon card, like the very popular Mortar deck that's in the meta. I know I need to get at least one game against this, so I'm happy that I'm facing it. Hopefully I can get the victory here. I'm actually going to do something very aggressive, and the reason I'm going to do this EGolem right here, I'll explain it, is because we just made a 4-for-4 trade to start the game, right? So I put Tesla down, he played a Mortar, and my Tesla still has about like 35% HP, so I'm just going to go Knight like this, IceBow as well. He's going to Cannon Cart. Wait, I might have a chance to break through right here because I have enough DPS on the map to where I think I can actually log this and kill it quickly. Okay, perfect. He's going to Guards or something. Nice. Oh my gosh, he got cooked. He can go Arrows on 0, but as soon as he Arrows, I'm just going to go Skellies the bridge. We get some good Expo damage, and wow, what a start to the game. That's really all I need, and this is one of the better Mortar players in the entire game as well. But you guys see, I'm going to show you guys how you should play this matchup. You know, I got a good start right there. I usually would never do something like that unless I had the perfect cycle, which I did. The Tesla right into the Expo, and he didn't defend his Mortar at all, so that was like the perfect start. I want to play defensive Expo, and this is how you play the matchup, guys. You want to play as many defensive Expos as you can, especially when you get that early damage lead like I have right here. There's really no reason for me to go offensive ever again in this game. Unless, you know, something crazy happens, but we're just going to go Knight like this to tank for the Skeleton Dragons. Should be decent. He actually goes for a Miner. That's fine because I didn't predict that Miner placement, but to be fair, the Knight was already, you know, just there as soon as he placed it, so kind of unlucky timing for him. I'm actually just going to wait. You know, there's no reason for me to play a card on the map. I want to just play reactive. We have a 2,000 damage lead that is huge against Mortar, and Mortar is one of those decks that you can easily get overwhelmed if you're not careful. So I'm just going to set up a Tesla in the middle of the map. That's going to clean up the Skeleton Dragon. But yeah, like I said, we're just going to play patient, play reactive, and from here on out, I like to play this matchup super defensively. I'm going to go Rocket on top of that. Pretty good value. We get the Cannon Cart and the Mortar right there. And yeah, perfect start to the game. I'm feeling good about my chances of winning this one. I'm going to say that then just massively choke, but just going to cycle my Larrys in the back. We'll get our Evo Knight down again in that same placement in case he does go for the Miner. No way he did it again, guys. Okay, he is going to Arrows to try and get a lock with his Skelly Drags, but that Knight is going to tank perfectly. Then I can just once again set up a defensive Expo. Really nothing. It's not rocket science. You just want to play keep playing defense and letting them come to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and cycle my log on this right hand side. I'm feeling very good about my gameplay at the moment, so I'm just going to go Skellies. Very confident in your defense, and that's how you have to be with this deck, guys. You've got to believe in your defensive capabilities if you want to have success playing IceBow in general. So I'm actually going to do this. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but trust me, it's a smart play because look at that. We force out an Evo Mortar. That's so good for me because now he can't do it on offense, right? And the reason I did that Expo was to force out the Mortar, and I wanted to just make sure he had to spend a bunch of Elixir as well. And I know he had the Mortar because he didn't have Cannon Cart and Cycle. That's why I did that. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, he kind of caught me in a bad rotation here. I can just go Tesla like this. Wow, this is a really bad cycle. Didn't have NATO or IceBow in cycle, so those bats just gave me a bunch of problems. We can Skellies just in time for that Mortar to block it. Perfect. Man, I feel like I'm playing out of my mind right now. I don't know if it's just me noticing that, but that's going to kill. I can just go defensive Expo. I'm going to wait a second because he could potentially play something at the river that I can also rocket. I'm going to go Knight like this, then I'm going to Tesla low for the Cannon Carts. And, okay, my cycle is very awkward. I can NATO this back. The Cannon Cart's going to pop with that NATO. Beautiful timing. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Yeah, that was perfect because I can just go Knight like this. What a cycle right there, guys. That could have gotten a little bit sketchy. He had the perfect rotation, but everything just went well. There's the guards. We can log those off the map right away. And then I have my Evo Tesla as well. And yeah, once again, a perfect defense. We barely take any damage. I can just defensive Expo once again, and we are going into triple Elixir now, where I can just basically stack as many units as possible. I'm going to go Evo Tesla Pi to keep my Expo alive for the most part, also just kill everything at the river. I know it's fine. It's fine to just like sack your Tesla sometimes to just control the bridge, and that's all I'm really trying to do at the moment is control the river. So I'm just going to go here, cycle my log, go for the Tesla up high. He could have arrows, but it's not going to matter because our Tesla is going to clean up that Cannon Cart, and once again, we are going to go for a defensive Expo. 45 seconds left. There's nothing he can do. If I'm playing perfect, there's nothing you can do. Like, that is why I love playing IceBow, guys. There is nothing people can do when you play perfectly. Of course, there's the exception, like the Royal Recruits deck. There's just not any or like very many hard counters to IceBow if you're playing the game perfectly, if that makes sense. And that's why it's so much more fun for me to play than any other deck, because like even with like Royal Hogs, there's like not many bad matchups, right? But you can always just get countered by Drill. And you know, nobody really plays Recruits Flying Machine. There's very little people playing that at the moment, so you never really have to worry about that. But I'm just gonna go Ice Wiz, Tesla, then Knight. 1 second left in this game, and I can just pull everything back, and yeah, that's gonna be GG's, guys. Perfect gameplay from the very start. We get a ton of damage on that left hand side. I didn't even notice till just now, but yeah, that's one of the best Mortar players in the entire game. I think he was maybe even the guy that actually made this version of the deck. I could be wrong about that, but completely put him in a coffin right there, and that was a perfect example of how to beat that deck. Okay, so luckily, after playing a couple hours of ladder, I haven't faced a single giant graveyard, and I haven't faced a single golem. So those are two decks I want to be showing, so I'm going to go into replay mode and show you guys how I played against this giant graveyard player from, actually, this was about a day ago. Luckily, I still had the games on my other account, my little log account, so I'm going to show you guys how I played against this matchup right here. Impossible, right? So he's got the Evo Knight, he's got the Giants. Already, those two cards are basically, you're not getting an Expo lock ever the whole game. Material level cards, and he's got just a quick cycle with the Bomber Minions version. This is not a possible matchup. You really should never win this. So he just goes for the giant graveyard. Look at this Tesla placement, by the way, guys. This Tesla placement right there pulls the giant outside of your tower's range, if you did not know. That's super clutch to know, but you can't do it always. It's only if they place the giant on the bridge, not on the outside tile, if that makes sense. But yeah, perfect defense to start the game. I usually would have lost already by that point, so I think I just go for the skellies over here on the left. This was a day ago, so I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but just winning this in general is insane. So he goes for the knight, and I believe he gets giant down just on 0. I could have nailed this quickly looking back at it now and got the lock, but I was like, there's no way he's going to get giant down. He's going to get it on 0. And then, yep, he drops it off. I have to IceBow on top because I'm like, wow, he just played a giant right there. Basically, at this point, I was like, how did he just get a giant off? I didn't think he had enough elixir, but I just nailed this, keep the IceBow alive on 1 HP. Basically, in this matchup, guys, all you have to do is just, like, go for weird things. Do stuff that you traditionally would never do with an Expo deck, because anything you really do is kind of just a waste, if that makes sense. So right there, I just go for the skellies like this, and you're never going to win by just playing passive in this matchup. You've got to do some stupid stuff. You know, maybe later in the game you can rocket cycle, like triple elixir, like maybe. But other than that, you've pretty much got to go for like super aggressive plays to counteract their super aggressive plays, if that makes sense, because obviously he just giant graveyarded the bridge first play. I just set up a Tesla right here. You always want to set up your Tesla a little bit higher than you usually would, so they can't just always giant graveyard into your Tesla. But I just cycled the IceBows in the back and cycled back around to a knight, I believe, right here for his knight. I think I went defensive Expo. Yeah, I did. And I was just trying to chill, play patiently. We knew we had Evo Bomber in cycle. Saying we, like, obviously it's me. But, okay, I just went for an Evo Tesla down low. This actually was a super valuable Tesla. Look how much value this gets right here. I IceBow down low as well to make sure the skeletons don't get any cheese damage on my tower. Then I just logged that Bomber. Perfect defense. That's like 10 out of 10 clinical. Also, you can always look for an Evo Bomber King Tower activation in this matchup, but you're not going to get one, like, unless they're just a bad player and allow you to get a, just, like, easily defend and get King Tower activated. But I just go for the skellies right like this. He does, of course, just drop that graveyard off because you know how they played this game, right? But I think I just logged that Bomber. I do take some damage from this graveyard, but it was honestly another perfect defense. My defenses have been perfect so far this game completely. But yeah, it's still like a struggle. It's not easily won right here. I'm up a couple hundred damage, but it's still definitely not game. So you see these Teslas that I'm going for. Basically, I'm just going to try and control the river as much as I physically can right here. So I go for the knight like this. I believe he giant graveyards opposite lane. I'm very patient right here, so you always have to pull this giant back with the tornado or you will lose the game because, you know, your tower's not going to kill the giant, guys. I'm just going to give you that advice for free, but I just go for the knights up high, I believe, on top of this Bomber, and then I think I just, what did I do for the minions? I don't think I did anything, actually. I think I just let that go, and then offensive Expo, if I'm not mistaken. This was like the play that I had to go for, and look at this. Bang, knight, NATO, bang. He doesn't have enough. Well, he does have enough for giant, but he doesn't react in time because he's like, oh, I'm safe playing my knight right there, and bang, just like that, we protect everything, block everything, block the Bomber. He can only play snowball arrows and it doesn't kill my Expo. But honestly, I think I still could have won this game, where it would have been very, very close if I didn't get that Expo lock. But that is like a perfect example of how you can just force locks. You know, I took some minion damage to go for a risky play. Definitely, I don't know if it was worth it in the end, but it did end up paying off because he did kind of not think I was going to NATO his knight out of range, and I got that connection, and it ended up beating this matchup, which is almost impossible. Okay, last game of the matchup video. This might be, I mean, this game defensively was a clinic. That's all I have to say. This has been a great video. Make sure you guys leave a like because this did take me a super long time to record. You can imagine how many games of ladder I played to get different matchups, especially on top ladder, but it was a grind, and I hope you guys do enjoy videos like this. But I just cycle my log like this. Basically, I did not know what he was playing off rip. The Bomber, the Skelly Drags, I was like, okay, he's probably playing Mortar, right? So I was like, I'll test the river over here. It's not like too risky. And yeah, I kind of regretted that as soon as he put this Golem down. But you know, I didn't know his deck, right? So sometimes it's okay. You know, I had a feeling he had Mortar, so I just kind of like played a Tesla and then I mean, it kind of comes back to bite me a little bit here, but not like too bad. So I just cycle my Ice Wiz, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm 1 card away from my Tesla. We're fine. Not in a bad situation here, to be honest. I think I cycled my log or nadoed this back. I can't remember exactly what I did. I think, yeah, I nadoed that first, and then he bombered, so I think I just logged everything, or Tesla'd up high for that bomber. I can't remember which one I did. I actually can't remember what I did, but I just cycled the log, didn't go knight behind the bomber. Yeah, that was perfect. He does go for the skelly drags like that, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll sack my Tesla here. Like I said, didn't have the best start to this game because I didn't really know what he was playing, so I didn't get like a clean defense off. He did get a couple hundred damage, and I guess my cycle was a little bit messed up to start the game, but it wasn't in any bad situation where I could lose from it, and I knew pretty much his entire deck, right, except for the cannon card at this point, right? So I was like, you know what, I'm fine. I'm just going to cycle my Ice Wiz in the back, assuming he wants to go same lane. We know he doesn't have that big spell, but the cannon card is obviously going to give me massive issues anytime you're playing Expo. It just kind of is how it is. So I make sure I knight the bridge to block the bomber just in case he does go for it. He does actually go for it right there. I'm surprised he didn't NATO right here. I kind of panicked with that Evo Tesla. Once again, I played arguably 3 bad Teslas, which is not great. So as soon as he played the cannon card like that, I was like, okay, I know he doesn't have a big spell. I'm going to play this game like super defensively and try and win off of just a perfect defense, or maybe like a stupid golem in the back by him. But yeah, I was like, okay, I know it's going to be hard to win this by getting expo connection, so I need to play perfect defense. And I just went for the knight in the back, just tried to cycle everything to where I could potentially get a king tower activation from the golem was my thought process, but he was not letting me. He was not having that. Decent skelly king by him. Gets a ton of value, but it doesn't like do anything too crazy, I guess. So I think I just cycled the knight in the back once again, just kept playing defense. He goes for another golem in the back. We're just going to keep setting up defensive expos every time that he golems. I don't know how that golem, well, I guess I do know how because the Tesla pulled it, but that was like really weird. I've never seen that interaction in my life. It just switched lanes to a Tesla that was already not even up, so that was confusing for sure, but I just went knight on top of that bomber like that. Skelly drags do some decent work against me in this matchup. They don't do anything like too threatening. They're not one of those cards where I'm like, oh no, I'm cooked. So I went expo like this. The reason I did this was a stupid play, but I do end up making it work somehow. But yeah, the reason I did that is I didn't think he had enough elixir for the golem right off rip. So I do go for a perfectly timed knight. It blocks the cannon card, it keeps my Ice Wiz alive. And yeah, I mean, this was just perfect. So everything was basically dying right here. Tesla was getting a ton of value. Expo was taking out that cannon card, so things were going very well. And then I believe I just set up another defensive Expo here with only 1:30 left in the game. And I just need like 2 more perfect defenses and I win this game, right? So that's my thought process at the moment. I'm just going to keep playing defense. He goes for that golem in the back. It's going to be this one massive push, and I always have to keep in mind he's got that Evo Bomber up next, right? So I'm thinking that in my head right now. I was actually streaming when I was playing this game, so I was like, you know, I was just like talking to myself saying Evo Bomber, Evo Bomber, Evo Bomber over and over, and I think he does still cheese me with the Evo Bomber at some point. That defensive expo, by the way, on the right-hand side that I just placed was so clutch because it killed that entire cannon cards, and I didn't have to deal with that, which was super nice. He goes for the Evo Bomber plus NATO here, which is super annoying because I couldn't even react to it. Like, I had no time at all. So he gets, what was that, 500 damage for free basically on my tower, and I'm like, dang it, bro, I just lost, I think. So at this point, I'm kind of in panic mode. I'm like, I have to basically win this game in rocket cycle at the very end, and I know I'm not going to be able to defend his push and get any kind of like expo counter push, so I kind of commit to just like this weird play style right here. This is like a crazy defense. I'm just gonna spoil it right now. I just cycled 2 Teslas. He goes for another golem in the river. I just log plus NATO everything back, kill that cannon card, knock it off its wheels, and then we're just basically cycling. 25 seconds left. I know he can't get back to an Evo Bomber in time. Well, he probably can actually at the end of this game. I can't remember if he does. Yeah, he does definitely, but I know I just need that one rocket, then I NATO everything back. Only 15 seconds left in the game. He does force the Evo Bomber, really poorly played by him right there, and then once again we can just go for the Evo Tesla. I don't know how I just held a golem push at the river for 45 seconds, to be honest, but it worked out perfectly. I just NATO'd everything back and bought myself enough time. That was a clinic of defense right there. Anyways, that was it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup guide, and this bush clip should be pretty fire as well. This was definitely a fun video to make for me, but definitely time consuming, so I appreciate everyone liking and subscribing. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace.